Hi, this is Balinkosi and you're watching Joburg Today.
Hello everyone and welcome to Joburg Today. I am your host, Linder Auditorium. For the next 4 weeks, Joburg Today will be running a special feature on the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra's Winter Series that happens to kick off today at the Linder Auditorium. Kicking off the special series is orchestra conductor Daniel Boyka and South African-born pianist Charles Duplessis, who talk to us about their lives and upcoming performances. Daniel, welcome to the show. Thank you for making time. I know you're having a busy schedule.
Thank you for having me, Linder.
Now, was music ever your first love?
Music was, but not classical. Both my parents are classical musicians, and I rebelled for most of my young life. Somewhere around age 16, 17, I got interested in singing in choir in high school. And there, my first love for classical style of music started. Before that, it was all break dance and rock and roll. And once it started, it was a hard fall because I started singing opera, and I was interested in conducting almost concurrently. So I started studying conducting and everything that had to do with conducting, and from there it just took off. It was maybe a 2-year transition period that was very intense.
What did it take for you to become one of the world's most recognized maestros?
Well, I don't know about most recognized, but perseverance, I guess. Consistency is also one of those things. You show up to so many different orchestras in different halls with different acoustics, with lots of different personalities, and you just have to make sense of it all, and you have to put everything together very quickly, high pressure, high intensity, and you just have to know your craft and make it happen in very short amounts of time.
Now, you perform on a regular basis. Do you ever find it monotonous or repetitive in any way?
You know, monotony is our biggest enemy because, especially professional musicians, you know, we do this for a living. So we do this day in, day out, day in, day out. And of course, you think that monotony can creep in. But lucky for us, music is that which we cannot express in words. So every time we do music, we'll try to express those extra feelings that we couldn't by talking, by writing, by painting. We do it in music. So if we do have this philosophy about music, I think it remains interesting all the time.
Why don't you walk me through what runs through your mind as you're conducting an orchestra?
Well, an orchestra is a lot to take in. You stand in front of a collection of people with different attitudes, with different personalities, with different energies, and every day is different. And definitely at night, the whole day has gone by, and people are a little more tired, or a little more, you know, that's how it is. But we have to re-energize everything and do it as if we are fresh, like we just woke up, you know. So you take all that and you try to put it all together. I can't think about everything that's happening at every moment, you know. I have to grab my mind around the whole thing, and what I really think about is structure. What I really think about is architecture. I start the beginning of a piece, I see the end of it, and I just fit pieces in, you know, now you, now you, now you, and then the whole thing comes together.
One of the questions I've always wanted to ask is there such a thing as a perfect performance?
I hope not. I hope not, because then I think we'll get bored and we'll have nothing to look forward to. I try to be the kind of musician that is always looking for the next thing, for an improvement, for a new taste of something, for a new sound. It's always very exciting to try and discover new sounds and new ideas with the musicians together. So to call something perfect, I think would do a disservice.
Now, on the 30th, 31st, you're going to be performing 2 nights at the Linder Auditorium. What do you hope to give to the audience?
I hope everyone is going to come out of the concert satisfied that they got a little taste of everything. We start the concert with Shostakovich's Festive Overture, written in a classical style, but it's a festive overture. It was written for an occasion, so it's a crowd rouser. And everyone gets excited. There's lots of brass, there's lots of volume, everybody's playing fast passages, beautiful melodies, and it's short. So it gives just a taste for everyone to say, okay, I'm ready for the next thing. And then the next thing is something that the audience will be very surprised with, because it's Gershwin's Concerto. You hear Concerto, you think classical, but you hear Gershwin, you think jazz, and the two combined is phenomenal. So jazzy, so much fun, so many different tunes. It's a crowd pleaser.
Charles, it is a privilege to have you here in studio today.
Thank you very much.
Now, Charles, one of the most interesting things that I actually read about your biography was you were at one stage the youngest pianist to actually earn a Steinway artist.
That's right. I was named a Steinway artist. So Steinway and Sons make the best pianos in the world, and they're very well known for their instruments. They've been around for 165 years. So that was actually back in 2010. I was named a Steinway artist. So how that works, Leroy, is you endorse this brand of pianos. So I exclusively play on Steinway pianos and record on Steinway pianos, but they don't pay me for it. So there's no way where they can make me endorse the brand. It has to sort of come from both ends. But I'm such a fan, and wherever I go, all over the world, it's so nice to sit down at the piano and see this familiar Steinway and Sons logo.
Now, you've done numerous performances in various concert halls, but last year you took it to new heights. You actually did a performance at Table Mountain. Now, how did that come about?
That's right. It was kind of a highlight for me in a certain sense. Last year, on the 88th day of the year, people celebrated International Piano Day. So the reason why the 88th day of the year is usually a full-size keyboard of the piano has 88 keys, the white and the black keys all included. And so on the 88th day, they decided to put a piano on the top of Table Mountain. So luckily, I was only asked to play on the piano, not to get it up there. But it was actually quite easy. They take the legs off the grand piano and put it on its side. So then it's almost like a double bed mattress, you know. They put it on a trolley and they literally took it up the cable car. So it was easy. They put the legs up on top, had it tuned, and it was the most fun-filled day of piano playing. And I've never had such a view playing the piano ever again.
Now, aside from playing classical music, you also play jazz. So I suppose the question then becomes, does that influence your classical performances?
Yes. I think it's like if I always compare music to food. So it's the same as a French or an Italian chef that goes to Japan and learns how to cook in a Japanese style. Obviously, there are things that aid one another, and there are lots of similarities as well. For me, I just have a bigger repertoire than other pianists. They only stick to classical pieces. Mine go from the Baroque up to pop, jazz, rock and blues or whatever. So it's so nice for me to have this balanced diet of different music I can choose from every day.
Now let's talk about the upcoming performances. Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra is hosting a number of winter series performances. How did you get involved in that?
Well, I'm very lucky to be asked to be the soloist for this opening concert on the 30th and 31st. They have been obviously the orchestra in Gauteng for a long time, and because I live in Pretoria, I often go and support the orchestra and listen to them. I've played with them once before, a couple of years ago, where I did Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue. And this year, I'm playing the Concerto in F by Gershwin. So it's so nice to sort of be a continuation of this train of thought. And in this winter series, I think fans of classical and orchestral music in Gauteng can look forward to a great variety of music with some top soloists from all around the world.
At the end of the day, what do you want to give to the audience in your performances?
Well, with this Gershwin specifically, it's such a meaty concerto. You know, I play a lot, and in the end, people must just experience what a genius George Gershwin was when he wrote this, because he was the first guy who decided I'm going to write for a classical pianist and a classical orchestra, and the music's going to have all these fun jazz ideas and those funky rhythms that make people want to dance or tap their foot. So if people enjoy the performance, if people had an interesting night out and learned something new, then I've really succeeded. So it's not about me or how good I am or how fancy my suit looks. It's all about enjoying and having a great night of music.